entrepreneurs out there, and today I want us to talk about character, the role of character in business, in a business environment, and not just one person's character or one stakeholder's character, but it's an ecosystem of characters. Talk about the significance of character in any business environment. Remember, as a brand, you've got it, what we call business values or brand values. And remember, there is a problem that majority think that the character that matters the most is mostly of the employee. Yes, of course, it matters. It has got a significant or an increases kind of percentage in terms of its significance in the distribution of service or in the molding or the nurturing of a brand perception or the image of the organization. So for all the stakeholders really play an important role. Be the entrepreneur's character, to the customer's character, to the employee's character. And the employee is distinctively important in the context that they are the people who interact with the customers. They are the people who interact with the superiors in terms of gathering information, being able to keep them in touch with the reality on the ground. So they play more of a central relationship building role in every organization. So one other thing that made me think of this as an important topic to cover is majority of entrepreneurs, they manage majority of the things, and in some cases it's not because they just feel like, but sometimes it's because of budgetary constraints, which is understandable. So now I think it is important for us to share wisdom as to how best can you do it to make sure that your organizational goals are sustained and perpetuated in a way that, in a picture that truly represents your brand values. And the only way to do that is to make sure that your whole team has got a complement of people who understand the brand treatment, people who are able to act or to understand and to adopt the culture or the image that the organization has created out there or intends to create out there. It is important to when recruiting. Majority of employees might override the idea of the importance of character being more preferent to the qualifications. Of course, qualifications play a big role, because qualifications actually ascertain that you have the skills that has been oriented to be able to handle the kind of contextual specialization or expertise that are needed in that particular area. But now, character, a qualification only without character becomes a nuisance. I can tell you this. So in every employee, there are three main essential qualities that are really indispensable. They're very important. It is the character of the person, the qualification, and experience. So character. Okay, let's start with the experience. Experience is important in the context that, remember, there is a say that says experience is the best teacher. And wisdom as a word is defined as the experiences that we've learned over time through making mistakes, through some other people mentoring us or coaching us in some way. And so that becomes very important. Remember, wisdom is a natural version of being wise. It's the natural way of adapting or solving problems in day-to-day lives. It's the natural way that is able to adapt automatically as time changes. It evolves. And then you talk of academic. Academic is the earthly orientation of how things are being done at that particular time. For example, we're in the 21st century. The professions that we start every day, they are oriented to be able to handle the 21st trends in terms of business environment, what is expected with the society, what is expected in a particular discipline, the involvement of the disciplines that have taken place over time. And then we come to character. Character complements all of them. So if it is not there, you might have the experience, you might have the qualification, but if you don't have the character to complement the completeness of you being a real asset to an organization, it compromises the whole thing, or it contaminates and overshadows all that you have. So it is important for an organization to be very fussy when it comes to characters. That's why it is important these days, for example, to be able to go through the social media handles of everybody that you hire before that. That should be the selection criteria. What are their opinions about general things, and does it align with the brand perception or the brand values? Each and every organization has got a set of brand values. These are the beliefs that we believe in as a brand, the beliefs that we believe are essential to us being able to serve a given community in regards to whatever service that we are offering. They hold us united in purpose. They combine, or they unite our purpose as a community, as an organization, to be able to deliver with a unified kind of voice out there. So it is important for us to have a single voice that expresses our values and our intentions to the public. So it is important that those values are understood by anybody who joins the team in terms of all the stakeholders. It is important that the values are then perpetuated by each and every individual in their sincerest form. So employees play a very important role. Remember, in other words, some would like to define employees as the ambassadors, the brand ambassadors. Every employee is the brand ambassador. And there are many organizations that have suffered customer lash or customer avoidance. I mean, we've been avoided by customers because of bad characters within their team. People who have mistreated some of the most essential, key customers to an extent that they've decided to side to back up from the brand, and that cost the organization in many ways. Because remember, in every step that we take as a brand, our intention is to create a brand loyalty, a community that is loyal to our brand, a community that is able to sustain the brand beyond a single generation. So it is important for organizations to be able to achieve that, and the only way to achieve that is to have the right people in the right place. So again, we said we should look into social media trends of those individuals, monitor what do they do, and who are they, how expressive they are, are they able to manage their emotions, because you'll be able to see a lot from what people post. Referral checks are very important. Let's check where these guys are coming from. I remember there's an incident whereby someone was being hired by a rival company, and when they got there, they actually, from the previous company, they had been fired because of bad character. The character that was kind of abusive to other staff members, abusive to customers, and they were dismissed from the organization. So when they went for an interview in the rival company, they badmouthed and actually said things that were bad about the employer and how they were ill-treated, which was actually a fabrication of the whole thing. And then the prospective employer went on to do a follow-up check and managed to find out that actually the person was very manipulative and very corrupt in their conduct. And they were able to avoid that. So imagine if that culture of corruptness had been adopted or had been embraced into the company, it was going to create a mess, even infect other employees. So it is important for background checks to be done and reference checks to confirm if truly the person has got what it takes in terms of being able to sustain the brand perception that is existing and the vision that lies ahead. And then we come to qualifications. Qualifications are very important because they actually confirm the orientation that the person has been oriented to be able to deal with the challenges or the contextual challenges of that particular field. They've been oriented into the basics of why we do things here. And then in an organization and in that particular field, it might be marketing, it might be HR, it might be finance. They are people who've got the orientation or the understanding of the modern ways of doing things in that particular field. And then we go to experience. Experience is very important. Experience is the wisdom. It's basically the wisdom that you have gained over the years from wherever you have come from, that is from leaving college or from a younger age. Because some of the things we don't necessarily learn them at college, but we learn them as we live from an early age. Because remember, it takes a character, which are the values that you have been been imparted with from your family environment. So character plays a very important role. And again, we go to the different stakeholders. As a superior or as an employer, you should have the right character to manage your employees, because it matters the most. Because remember, bad treatment is very contagious. If you bad treat your employee, they will pass it on to the customer. In some cases unintentionally, but by default, because they are not in the right mood to be able to understand and execute their duties, to listen to customer. Remember, there is a video that I did about the importance of reading, and I'm going to do another one about the importance of understanding. So for their senses to be in one and be able to concentrate on their customer, because one of the most essential, indispensable qualities of a great customer service is undivided attention and the ability to listen and understand. So by virtue of them not being in a good mood because you have ill-treated them, or your bad character has actually impacted them, they are not able to distribute or to offer the best service that you want them to offer. So you can't expect them to be emotionally in distress and be able to save best customers. And the character of the employer doesn't only ends there, whereby we are talking about emotional treatment or the verbal treatment of employees. It goes with the work environment. Are we creating conducive environment whereby there is a sense of respect for each other, there is a sense of open communication where people are able to express themselves without any fear of being victimized, there is a sense of respect, like I said, and also equitable remuneration. Remember, the relationship between an employee and an employer is essentially money-based. They are there to earn, and you hire them to earn. So the relationship is glued together by money. So we should always be in a position to equitably remunerate our employees. I'm telling you, when they're equitably remunerated, they feel the obligation to be able to offer, to reciprocate the kind of respect that you, because to them, when you give them equitable remuneration, it shows respect, it shows care, it shows love. So the same will happen. They will reciprocate to you and to your customers. And that means ultimately your brand benefits from the whole equation. So it is important for employers to be able to understand and to be able to treat their employees in all aspects with respect and a sense of equity, whereby they value their needs and they are able to help them assist themselves and their families. And then we go to we talked about the employers and the employees. Now we go to work relationship, whereby it is important for employees to be able to treat each other, and we say that can be provided by the organizational policies that enforces compliance to behavior that enhances respect and a conducive work environment for every employee. So those are things that we need to really take seriously as entrepreneurs. Whenever we are recruiting or employing new employees, it is important that we value character and we equitably value character among his qualifications and experience. And character plays a very important role. You know, somebody might be highly qualified, well experienced, but if they have got a bad character, they will contaminate the whole system. They will contaminate the whole system in terms of some core employees. They will also end up spoiling or poisoning our target market to an extent that we are not able to build loyal customers, or we have got high customer turnover whereby people don't really stay with us. People just feel like they come today, they've got that bad experience, they go to the next competitor. Remember, people have got many options to spend their money. So coming to you, they're actually doing you a favor. But at the same time, we should not open our employees to abuse from the employees. So that's another part of character that I wanted to elaborate on. So how do we do that? We can't control the character of a customer, because remember, they are our guests. But how do we make sure that at the end of the day, they are able to respect and treat our customers in a way that enhances their ability to be friendly, to be loyal, and to be in the mood to distribute, to offer best service? Is by making sure that we have got policies that understand, or for example, you might be talking about CCTV cameras. You might have to draft some return policies that are very considered, that are considered of consultations from different stakeholders. For example, shop floor workers, the managers, the supervisors, and also customers. They've got channels to manage the flow of communication. So that they won't end up confronting confronting our employees. And we have got other systems, physical systems like security people who are manning the store, to be able to manage some unnecessary altercations that might happen, because sometimes customers don't want to be told when they're doing wrong. So at least the security will be able to handle those in a way that is more neutral, because remember, they are a third party who is coming to mediate a misunderstanding between the customer and the employee. So I think it has to do with policies that we develop as an organization to make sure that there is mutual respect between the communication of the employee and the customer, and also transparency. Transparency is actually has to do with things like miscalculation of change, or a customer claims that they've been given a wrong change. Let's have a situation whereby, I remember in one retail organization that I've worked, they used to say, if a customer comes and claims that you have given them wrong change, what do? They change the cash register right away, go and cash it up, and if there's any amount that is extra in the cash register that tallies with the amount that the customer claims to have been wronged or misgiven, and then they will be able to give it back, which is a very smart way of solving and misunderstanding, rather than you saying you have to return after 2 days when we have checked the register. That really sometimes won't go down well with other customers. So it is important for us as managers to have policies that are competent enough to be able to extinguish unnecessary flames. So it is important. So I think that's all we have in terms of character. We'll be elaborating more on this topic. If there's anybody who has got any contribution, or where you think maybe you've got a better experience that emphasizes on the importance of character in a business environment, because every element of best or service delivery is reliant on character. There is a saying that I usually share, which says, you never know how vulnerable you are until you have got a need, and the only person who can save that need is a person with a bad character. For example, you walk into a government department and you're in desperate need of a service, and you meet a nasty government employee, and in most cases that's how it is. And it makes you feel very vulnerable, and you even go to the superior, report it to the superior, and the superior doesn't take it seriously, or they side with the employee. That really puts you off, and it destroys you emotionally. So character affects a lot of things in any business environment, and it is an important quality that every entrepreneur should be able to enforce with commitment and honesty. Otherwise, if you miss out on that, so to all small to medium entrepreneurs out there, make sure that within your recruitment process, character plays a very important role in you deciding who comes into the team or who comes on board on your team. Otherwise, you might miss up, you might be setting goals and reversing them by having the bad people in your team who are not able to understand or passionately pursue or perpetuate the goals that you have set. People who are not able to align with the values that you have created. That's creating a conflict of interest whereby you are moving 10 steps ahead, 2 steps ahead and 10 steps backward, because these people are pushing back your agenda, yet you're pushing forward. And it ends very bad. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for your support, and please engage with us, share your opinions, share your experience with character as an employer or as an employee or as a customer, and some of the suggestions of how best you have dealt with these situations in those kind of situations. Achievers, let's keep achieving out there. Thank you so much.